Hi and welcome to our Willswheels 10-minute tea break. If you've seen any of our previous videos, you'll know that this is the 10 minutes we take just during the week to walk around the yard and see exactly what's going on and see what the guys are up to. So follow us and we'll see what's happening. So the first thing we have to look at here is this. This is actually Will's own M535i E28. It's actually a car that he really likes and has had for how many years. So we've decided to put it in the lift, give it a sort of a once over, check everything out and see how bad the rust is. So, set my tea down unfortunately. So, one of my favourite things about this car is actually the wheels he runs. So, big set of RH top lines, which look really well in this. Some of us are still convinced he should polish these up. He's not convinced, he likes them the way they are. So, the back subframe has been dropped out just to give us better access. This is common with these things. It sort of started to go in around here, where the subframe bolts to the car. It's not too bad this one thankfully, but we will see once we get into it with the wire brush and stuff. It builds in suspension and a few other nice upgrades as well. Fairly well looked after thing back in the day. Now that we have the subframe out and the tank and stuff out, we'll be able to start into replacing all the old fuel lines and stuff. Just with sitting over time, they've become a bit perished and stuff. Thankfully it's not a big job when everything is dropped out of the car. Unfortunately, anybody that owns a BM will be well familiar with what happens to the sills. So, fairly common, and thankfully this isn't just so bad yet. If we find too much more, then we'll not be fixing it this week. We'll have to put it off until we have a wee bit more time on our hands. You've got nothing to say, it's nothing looking at the back of it actually. So, we'll go back to the front. Unfortunately, this thing, it came out of England, and if you've ever bought an old car out of England, that should say enough for you. It's a wee bit like their English MOTs, and we'll say no more about them here. If you have a look at this though, you'll see, for some reason, all the worst bits on this car are bits that have been previously repaired. Like an English restoration seems to include a lot of eyes upon and tack screws. So we've got the tack screws out of the bumper now, and now that we're buffing off the eyes upon and underseal, we're starting to see a lot more issues than previously first thought. It's also painted by Stevie Wonder in a shed with a roller, but that's another issue for another day. Just from here, I'll do this here. This here just is a very, very high spec E30 320i cabby. So there's lots of nice wee bits and pieces in that there. So unfortunately that one is getting broke down for parts. So there should be a lot of good exciting bits come off that there. You had the front end chopped off and stuff. Actually a very clean shell. Okay, so that's enough on this because I'll not be doing any welding. So on to the next thing we'll have to show you. So I've got the keys, and most importantly when I was in there got some biscuits. So we were recently asked to have a look at a few running issues on a Z3. Got a wee bit of a surprise when this thing landed into the yard. This lovely big sweeping bonnet on the front of it. Although I would argue that, is it really like a Cobra if it doesn't have the two white racing stripes? So this thing came into us and all we've been told is it seems to be running bad. It's down on power and seems to be running a wee bit lumpy. So the first thing we're going to do is probably take it for a test drive, and then we'll get it into the garage and have a look around and see what we can find. Thankfully these are based on a Z3, so it's all fairly simple underneath, and all stuff we're very used to working with, all parts out of E36s basically. So it's the 2.8 engine in this one, which is the biggest engine in the Z3 for this sort of age. So that's the one you would want in this thing. So we'll get this thing started up and take it for a test drive and see. So here it is. Let's see if we can just get the seat back in this thing. Who was driving this before me? Despite what a lot of customers coming into the yard have been saying. You coming for a spin in the convertible?
What is this?
Okay, so we're actually on take 2 now. So here we have it. It's been nicknamed the Zebra. As many of you can probably tell, it is based on a Z3, so it's not actually a real Cobra, unfortunately. It's more than just the lack of white stripes on the bonnet that gives that away. But it is quite a nice looking wee kit. And I have to say, he's done a very good job of painting it and stuff. It does look really well. It's a lovely colour. So this car came into us with a few running issues. It is the 2.8 Z3 M52 engine. So something we're fairly used to working on, as it's the same in any of the 36s. So we know our way around them fairly well by now. They should be putting out in around 193 horsepower. Bit of a far cry from the V8 that should be in a Cobra or something, but you know, you could live with it in these roads. So the first thing for me to do will be just to take it for a test drive and see what we think, and then after that we'll be able to go from there. So if you liked what you've seen, don't forget to click on all the like and subscribe and share and all those sort of buttons. And sure, you know where you are, so if you want to send us more tea and biscuits, we'll be happy for that too. All the best.